Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm currently in the south of Albania, the very south of Albania. I've been staying on a campsite here for the last couple of days because I've been filming a video for my second channel in an area which is supposed to be the European version of the Maldives. But the campsite itself doesn't have particularly nice views. It's like a little courtyard area, but it's been really nice here, and more importantly, I'm parked in the shade, so I haven't had to wake up to 30-degree temperatures in the van like I did the other day. We are heading into Greece today, so we're going back into the EU, and I have an extraordinary mission lined up. A good friend of mine sent me a picture the other day of this monastery. Is it monastery? Monastery. Well, I'm going with monastery. It just sounds easier. Anyway, my friend sent me a photo of this incredible monastery on the top of this big tall rock thing. I've done some research. It turns out it's sort of en route in Greece, and there's 6 of them. So let's not spend any more time talking. It's time to hit the road and get ourselves back into the EU. That sounds like an anti-Brexit statement. Onwards! I have officially left Albania, and I've got to say, I mean, the culture is very different there to any country that I've personally visited before. But the people were absolutely lovely and the scenery was beautiful. And some of those roads were just an absolute dream to drive on. Now from there I went through that border crossing, no problems whatsoever. And immediately when I entered Greece I was greeted with a lovely view of the sea. And then after that I came across a 4-legged nature. I mean, it's not every day you come across a cow. Which way do I go? Front or back? Let's go around the back of him and hope he doesn't kick my van. Good cow, good cow. I've now driven a further 2 hours inland and we are at a random supermarket, at least I think it's a supermarket anyway. So I'm about to head in there and load up the pigeon with some food. Okay, that is that. The shopping has been achieved. We now have a pretty much fully loaded fridge. We also have the world's longest loaf of bread, a can of coli for the journey, and probably what's going to be a disgusting pre-packaged cheeseburger. Daylight is not on our side today. It's currently about, well, I don't know what the time is actually, but I know that sunset even, is at 4:30. It's nearly 3:30, so by the time we get to the park up, it's going to be dark. Oh, don't say I've been bitten again. If you're in there, mate, you are going to get crushed. Oh, by the way, do you like my new little bracelet? I'm a proper little hippie now, aren't I? Got it from a market. Right, let's get a bit of energy down us, shall we? That is literally solid. Look at it. Oh, I don't know about this. I guess we're just going to have to go hungry today. It turns out my phone has been telling me the UK time for the sunrise round here. So we actually had an extra hour. It's now 5:30 and the sun is just going down, as you can see behind the mountains over there. But also right in front of us there, that is one of the monasteries. I'm currently quite high up in the mountains, so I'm at the same sort of level as the top of that one, and I was planning on staying right here. It's the only place I found on Park for Night in this area that is not a campsite, but as you can probably see, it is on a major wonk. But when I was driving here, I did go through a little town and I saw a sign for a campsite. It was amazing though, honestly. You can see all these rock formations coming up right next to the town. I think it's called the Meteora, and that's obviously where all the monasteries are. So as much as I wanted a night out in the middle of nowhere, I don't really fancy sleeping on this major slope. So I'm going to head back to that town and get to a campsite, but I need to do it soon because there's so many stray dogs around here, all just knocking about on the middle of the roads, and I don't want to be driving in the dark in case I accidentally mow one down. I drove back down through the mountain, through the local town, popped out to the other side and made it safely to a campsite without harming any hounds.
Hello, hi.
Hello, yes, just looking to stay for one night.
Okay, how many person?
Just myself.
The price from one person is 18 euro if you pay with card, 15 if you pay cash.
I thought rather than make my own food tonight, we're going to go and take a little wander and see what local options are around. But first, I would like to say a big thank you to today's video sponsor, because without my video sponsors, trips like this wouldn't even be able to happen. And today's video sponsor is Jackery. Now you might notice that this particular model has a few scratches and scars all over it, That is because it's been well used, but also because whilst driving around several mountain bends, it has fallen out of this cupboard about 5 times and slid across the floor. But the fact that it still works good as new is a testament to how solid this thing is. So this particular model is the Jackery Explorer 1000 V2. And one thing I just wanted to point out is the design itself. Usually with power stations, the handle's like dug into the side there, so you have to carry it with 2 hands. But because this one has a folding handle, you can literally just pick it up with 1 hand and keep the other hand free for mouthwash or whatever. You've got your standard 12-volt cigarette lighter socket there. You've got your USB-C standard power socket, and then you've got a high-powered 100-watt USB-C socket as well. And that means that you can charge things like your laptop without having to use that big brick of a plug that they give you. In fact, I've been using this quite a bit for my laptop when I want to sit outside at a nice campsite and do my editing in the sun. It's got a regular USB socket as well, and 2 AC sockets that can power appliances up to 1,500 watt. Now, because we are close to Black Friday, Jackery have the biggest deals on of the entire year at the moment, so I highly recommend you go and check that out right now. I'll stick a link down in the description below for the Jackery Explorer 1000 V2, but also for all of the other power stations that they have on offer. Unfortunately, it's way too dark down by the campsite to show you where I'm actually parked, but I'll show you properly tomorrow morning. Oh, we're gonna die! Oh no, we're not, we're alive, we survived. But yeah, we're not actually in the town anymore. We came just out the other side of it into a little village. So it looks like the food options are limited. I've got no idea what this place is here, but I think there's literally 3 places. Oh, hang on, I think we're good. It says they sell pizza. Hello, are you open? Yes. You take card payments? Yes. Right. Cooked food. Well, does that mean the grill stuff is raw? This is all a little bit worrying to me. Beans. I wonder if they're Heinz. There we go, look. It's the children's picture version. That's it. I'm going to be super adventurous. As far as a shop-bought pizza that's been chucked in an oven and sold at an extortionate price, that wasn't too bad. But no, genuinely, I was going to try something Greek tonight. But there was something about that restaurant, I just wasn't 100% sure about it, so I thought I'd go for the safe option rather than indulging in high-risk eating behaviour. But on the plus side, I have found a treasure map, and it has a list of all of the 6 monasteries all laid out for us. So in the morning, we can start executing the plan. But for now, as you can imagine, I am absolutely knackered after all that driving today. So I'm going to get me some sleep, and we will pick this up in the morning. Good morning, people. We need to get the hell on out of this campsite. There's something seriously up with it. I don't know what. I mean, for starters, there's wasps just knocking about left, right and centre. Despite the fact I came here to get away from the wonk of the mountain, the van is on a slight wonk. And the cockerels that wake you up do not even cock-a-doodle-doo. They literally just cock-a-doo and then they stop. It's almost like the mother hen was teaching them how to do it and then just gave up halfway through. But one thing we can't complain about is the view, the fact that we are so close to the Meteora. So that means we're not too far away from a place where we can launch the drone. But I certainly don't want to launch it from here. I think either I've been laced with a hallucinogenic substance from that restaurant, or I've been abducted by aliens. And do you know what? Another thing, right? My alarm clock, my actual proper alarm clock in the back, went off an hour late, but my phone one went off. Hang on a sec. Are you actually joking me? I drove through a time zone yesterday. I've lost an hour. That would explain why the sunset was at a different time than I thought as well. Unbelievable. Alright, well that might explain some things, but there's still certainly no excuse for that unenthusiastic cockerel. There's actually 24 monasteries altogether, but there's only 6 that are still in use, so those are the main ones. So we've got them spotted about all over the place, and there are car parks by each one. Now, knowing my luck, they're going to be charged car parks for each one, so if we go to every single one of them, we're going to have to pay a lot of money. But it looks like these 3 monasteries here are pretty close together, so hopefully if we rock up at one of these car parks, then we can cover all 3 monasteries with one hit. and then we'll head a bit further down. I mean, these ones are more spread out, but if we start with a middle car park, you never know, the digital bird might be able to soar to all three of them. But there's only one way to find out. Let's head to car park number 1, and hopefully things will work out swimmingly, or flyingly even. I've made it up the mountain and we are currently sort of near the car park that I was aiming for, but up there it is absolutely jam-packed with tourists, and not only that, there's a couple of police officers or security or something just in case they tell me not to fly the drone. Obviously I didn't want to be too near to them, so I've driven down to this point here. You can see the view is absolutely beautiful, and the drive up here was quite spectacular as well. You just see all these huge rock formations just sticking up, protruding from the earth. But there's something that's even more impressive than those rock formations, right? Check this out. Open up the door, get it to the point where it stops. Look how close it is to the wall without touching. That is the mark of a professional parker. Anyway, according to the map, the monastery that I can see in the distance over there is called Rosjanhö. And then the one that's up near that car park up there is Valheim. It's a little bit optimistic that we can get 3 of the monasteries from here, because if I fly the drone behind a rock, then we'll lose signal and that might be game over. But from this particular vantage point, I have a good feeling that we can get 2 birds stoned at once. Be free, my absolute beauty. Fly, my pretty. Okay, we have an issue. We're back in business. We lost signal temporarily. You might have noticed in the background of some of those shots there was a 3rd monastery, and that one is called Great Meteora. But to get some proper shots of it, we do need to move locations, which means doing a 3-point turn on this very tight little mountain road. So let's whisk the pigeon around, head a little bit further up the mountain, and get to monastery number 3. We have officially parked up back at the exact same spot. I got up there and it's even more rammed than the first car park. There's people everywhere, and this was literally the closest spot to it that we can get. But I don't know if you can see in the background there, it looks like it's raining. It certainly does over to the left. So what I'm gonna have to do is soar the digital bird as high as I can from here over in that general direction, and then we might just have to get a top-down view for this one. But we've got no time to spare. Let's get the digital bird back up in the air. Mission accomplished. Well, so far anyway. I'm just trying to find out how to get to the next one, which is called St. Nicolaos.
Starting route.
8 minutes drive away. No time to waste. Let's hit the road. I haven't driven as far as I was planning on driving because I pulled over at this incredible spot here. Is that a stray doggo? Oh no, it's not.
So I'm running towards you. Oh, okay, there we go. See, that's his dog.
Well, I thought at first it was a stray, and then I saw you, and I thought, because it doesn't look like a stray.
Yeah.
I suppose it probably is. There's a lot of them around here.
A lot of them around.
So it was a stray. Probably shouldn't have let it run at me like that, because some of them are quite vicious. So I haven't driven as far as I was planning on driving to get to the next one, because I found this perfect little park up here, and I can actually see the monastery in the distance just over there, so we can easily send the digital bird up in the sky. Isn't it typical? You find a nice empty car park, you rock up thinking you're going to have peace and quiet, and before you know it, you're like honey, attracting all the bees, and they surround you and just close you right in. But it doesn't really matter, because we have now taken, how many have we done now? 4. Is that right? Yes, 4 of the monasteries. So we've got 2 more to go, and they are in a slightly different area to here. So let's hit the road, get these final 2 done, and then I suppose we're probably going to have to go and find some local Greek food. We have rocked up at monastery number 5. We're not in the main car park again, but it is right in front of us there. There are a couple of police officers just around that corner. But to be honest, I'm pretty sure it's fine to fly the drone here anyway. They're just here to keep the crowds calm. I'm pretty certain this is the one from the photo that my mate sent me, so this one is definitely essential. But filming it from the ground was not part of the deal. You know the drill. I've got to say that one is my favourite so far. It might just be because the sun was shining nice and bright, so it looked better on the screen, but I do think it's got to be the best. That's why they probably use that one for the photos online. But there's just one more to visit. It's not far from here. It's just round the corner, so let's get cracking with that. I knew it was close, but I didn't think it was literally just round the corner. Look at this for a view. That is something else. That's the monastery right there. We need to be quick. I'm pretty sure I've only got 20 minutes to park here. I'm just literally at the side of the road here, but I think the signs say that it's up until 3 o'clock that you can park for free, and it is 22. But I've got to say, even if you took those monasteries away, the landscape around there has been incredible. And if I'd known about that particular spot yesterday, I would have parked up there for the night. But anyway, right now, I'm going to get some food. As you can see, I've just bypassed a pizza shop because I'm genuinely getting local food. So the Greek eat something called gyros, apparently. So apologies to anyone out there who's on benefits. I wouldn't usually consume your weekly allowance, but today it's got to be done. See, this is the city which is just next to all of the mad rocks, and I've parked obviously a little bit further down the road there, and right here is a gyro shop. I've just come down the road a bit so I can eat my lunch in the Pigeon, but we don't fit in the parking spots here. Look, we've got a little height barrier thing on all the spaces, but it's empty, so it don't really matter. I can just leave her hanging right out. But I didn't really think it was worth the risk of getting some sort of parking fine up the road. 2 things I need to inform you of. Number 1, I found out these are pronounced gyros, and number 2, they should be pronounced kebab. But I have to say, as far as kebabs go, that looks like a pretty good one. So I am going to somehow tuck into this and enjoy it, and then hit the road ready to go to the next destination. But today's video was a great success. We did all 6 monasteries with the drone, so that worked out well. I had a good time other than the alien abduction sort of scenario in the campsite last night. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And as always, I will catch you on the next one. There's gravy in it. Actual genuine real life gravy. That is the one. Oh!